It's 2 a.m. You're lying on approximately 20% of your own bed. Your dog has claimed the rest diagonally, somehow paws against your ribs, head on the pillow that was supposed to be yours. And here's the part that doesn't make sense. You don't move them, you adjust around them. You fold yourself into the corner, you pull a sliver of blanket, and you close your eyes. Everyone assumes it's just habit, or that your dog is cold, or needy, or badly trained. But behavioral neuroscience tells a completely different story, and most owners have no idea. Let's start with the explanation everyone reaches for first. Your dog sleeps with you because they want warmth. It sounds reasonable. Dogs like heat, beds are warm, problem solved. Except think about it for a second. Your home is full of warm spots. There's a couch. There's a dog bed, probably with memory foam. There are radiators, sunny patches on the floor, fleece blankets they've already claimed. Warmth is everywhere, and yet every single night they find you. They walk past the couch. They ignore the dog bed. They navigate through darkness with uncanny precision, jump onto your mattress, and press themselves against your body specifically. Not warmth in general, you. Here's a question almost nobody thinks to ask. What if warmth is just the excuse, and the real reason goes much, much deeper? Because it does. Researchers at Budapest's Eötvös Loránd University ran a study that changed how scientists understand dogs. They adapted a test originally designed for human infants, the Ainsworth Strange situation, to work with dogs and their owners. The experiment was simple but revealing. It watched how dogs reacted when separated from their person and how they responded when that person came back. What they found was extraordinary. 61% of dogs showed what psychologists call secure attachment, the same percentage as securely attached human infants. These weren't just dogs that liked their owners. They were dogs whose entire sense of safety was organized around one specific person. Secure attachment, in plain English, means this: you are their safe base. When the world feels uncertain, their nervous system reaches for you. Not the couch, not the food bowl, you. And here's where it gets really interesting. The researchers also found that when dogs sleep near their person, cortisol, the stress hormone, the one that spikes during anxiety and drops during safety, measurably decreases. Their bodies actually calm down in proximity to you. They're not sleeping with you because they're needy. They're sleeping with you because you are, to their nervous system, the definition of safe. Think about that. In a world full of sounds and smells and unpredictability, they go to sleep feeling calm because you're there. Your dog isn't clingy. They're telling you that you're the safest thing in their world. But here's the part nobody tells you. This bond isn't just behavioral, it's chemical. In 2015, researchers at Asabu University in Japan published a landmark study in the journal Science. They discovered that when a dog and their owner make eye contact, both experience a surge in oxytocin, the neurochemical associated with bonding, trust, and love. Not just the dog, both of them, simultaneously. They called it a mutual gaze loop. The human looks at the dog looks back. Oxytocin rises in both brains at the same moment. The bond deepens. The loop reinforces itself. And here's the detail that makes this genuinely remarkable. When the researchers tested wolves raised by humans, animals that share nearly identical DNA with dogs, the loop didn't activate. It's not a species response. It's not just proximity. This specific chemical feedback system co-evolved between dogs and humans over thousands of years of living together. You didn't just teach your dog to sleep with you. You shaped each other. 10 minutes of physical contact petting, closeness, warmth produces a measurable drop in cortisol in both species. Both of you are being regulated by the presence of the other. Your dog doesn't know the word oxytocin, but their body knows exactly what your presence does to them, and yours knows what theirs does to you. This is the part that changes everything. In 2011, archaeologists excavating a burial site in Germany made a discovery that stopped the field cold. The site was 14,000 years old. Inside it, 2 humans, buried together, and next to them 2 dogs. Not left there by accident, buried with them, intentionally, as family. One of the dogs showed signs of canine distemper, a disease that causes paralysis and seizures. Recovery requires weeks of hand feeding, constant care, and close contact. Someone had nursed that dog through its illness for 5 weeks or more, and when that person died, the dog was buried with them. 14,000 years ago, a human being chose to sleep next to a sick dog and nurse it back to health. This is not new behavior. Geneticists have since found something even more striking. On chromosome 6 in domestic dogs, there are genetic insertions changes in the actual DNA that are linked to hypersociability. The drive to seek out human contact isn't a learned preference. In domestic dogs, it's written into the genome itself. Dogs were not just trained to be close to humans, they were shaped at the molecular level to need us. 15,000 years of co-sleeping, 15,000 years of waking up next to each other. Your bed is not the starting point of this story. It's just the latest chapter. Here's where the science gets a little strange. The Mayo Clinic conducted a study tracking the actual sleep quality of dog owners who let their dogs sleep in the bedroom. The data was clear. Dogs objectively disrupt human sleep. Movement, noise, repositioning, it's measurable, it's real. And yet, when those same owners were asked how rested they felt, the majority reported sleeping better with their dog present. Let that sit for a second. Objectively worse sleep, subjectively better rest. A separate survey from Canisius College in New York found that women in particular rated their dogs as less disruptive to their sleep than their human partners. Not because the dogs moved less, because the felt sense of security was higher. The nervous system, it turns out, doesn't care much about objective data. It cares about felt safety. And something about the weight of a dog against your leg, the rhythm of their breathing, the warmth of their presence, something about that signals to the oldest parts of your brain you are not alone and you are safe. For most of human history, solo sleeping was a vulnerability. We slept in groups, we slept with animals. The isolated bedroom is a modern invention, maybe 200 years old at most. Your body might still be running older software. The dog pressing against your feet at 2 a.m. isn't disrupting your sleep. They're completing something your nervous system didn't know it was missing. Now, there's something important here that most owners never consider. If your dog stops sleeping with you, pay attention. Not just HM, that's unusual. Real attention. Dogs don't have language. They can't tell you when something hurts. They can't explain confusion or pain or anxiety. What they have is behavior, and sleep behavior is one of the first things to change when something is wrong. Pain, particularly joint pain in older dogs, often shows up in sleep patterns before it shows up in limping. A dog who used to leap onto the bed and suddenly stops, or who starts sleeping in a different position or resists being touched while sleeping may be managing discomfort they have no way to name. Veterinary researchers have found that canine cognitive dysfunction, the dog equivalent of dementia, affects approximately 35% of dogs over the age of 8. One of its earliest signs is disrupted sleep and changes in where and how a dog rests. Behavior is their language. Sleep is one of their most fluent sentences. If the pattern changes, ask why. A vet visit costs less than a misdiagnosis. Your dog has been telling you things for years without words. That conversation doesn't stop just because the message gets harder to hear. Go back to that moment. 2 a.m. 20% of the bed. Pause against your ribs. You thought it was habit. You thought it was warmth. You maybe even thought it was a training failure. But here's what was actually happening. A creature whose genome was shaped over 15,000 years of sleeping beside humans looked across an entire house full of warm, comfortable options and chose you, specifically. Not the couch, not the dog bed, not the sunny patch by the window. You. Their cortisol dropped when they found you. Their oxytocin rose when they looked at you. Their nervous system settled when they felt your breathing slow into sleep. You were doing the same things without knowing it. That's not a bad habit. That's not neediness. That's not something to feel guilty about or fix or explain away. That's 15,000 years of a relationship that has outlasted empires and languages and every other domesticated animal on Earth. You didn't let your dog sleep with you. Your dog came home. If you want to understand your dog even more deeply next, we're going to talk about why dogs follow you from room to room and what their behavior in those first few seconds after you come home actually means. Because it's not what most people think.